Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. What the hell is up, fellas?
Yo,
we back.
Yeah,
what's
I know,
up,
right?
guys?
Guess who's back? Back again. Woo, yeah. Watch out for a good copy strike against us.
Yeah, I know, man. Because you did so good.
I know, right? I sound just like him, don't you know?
Yeah.
What is up, people? Woo!
Woo!
Missed you guys last week, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Russ, you
man.
sound so much better, man.
Oh, dude, I feel so much better.
You're sick, right?
Yeah, it was like a sickness that wouldn't go away. Every time I start feeling better, I get sick again. Or sorry, I start feeling worse again.
I know, dude. Because you mentioned that like the week prior. And then
2 weeks, man.
Oh, yeah, and I was like, dang, man, are my days blurring together? Which is like definitely
Everyone kept saying
happening to me at this point.
My boss is like, you don't have COVID, do you? I'm like, no, motherfucker, I took like 2 COVID tests. I don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I've been vaccinated 4 fucking times for this shit.
God, dude, I still have only got like the initial one, man. I haven't got like a booster or anything.
Let me tell you,
I thought I was the only one. Like,
no, I think like it got to a point where like literally, when everybody was getting it, like this is probably like literally probably like a year ago. This time when like everybody that you knew had it, then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let it ride.
Right.
Like I only got I got one of the ones that was a 2-part. So I got both parts of it, you know.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I just did those 2, and then
after that, I was like, yeah, smooth sailing, baby.
I made my old ass parents stay up to date. Every time I'm always like, go get that shit, man. Don't fuck around with it. But
right.
I'll play games with my own life, you know.
That's right. Do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
Well, my daughter's only gotten two of the shots, the first 2 shots. She hasn't gotten a booster yet. Anna hasn't gotten a booster yet. RJ hasn't done it. I'm the most vaccinated fucker in this house.
Look at you, man. You're the most responsible one in your house for once in your life.
You say that, yet I'm the one who gets sick with all the other fucking shit.
Dude, yeah, right, man. Right. Yeah, it's like everyone forgot that there was like a bunch of other things that one could get
exactly.
Sick with.
We're so focused on, like I said, you're so focused on COVID, you forget that all the other shit is probably going to get you worse than COVID, before COVID will. At this point,
dudes, at this point, I'm in bed like once a week with my fucking neck. Like,
oh god, dude,
like
that's terrible, man.
Dude, well,
it's fucking bad.
I'm like in the Nick Brammer boat now, like, because I just keep having stupid shit happen to me, like at practice, where like I'll like just, I guess I'm getting old, dude. I mean, like I'll just move a certain way. And it's like I'll be wrestling or whatever, and it was in the beginning of the season, like I fucked my arm up, and I think I like tore a ligament that connects my bicep or whatever, and that's like finally now, that was in November, now that's good to go, and that like did something to my neck, and it was like in my neck and my traps, and that's like the worst place to have
that sucks,
injury
dude.
or something, because it's like literally every time you turn your head, you have to think about it. Like when it hurts, like
it also lingers. Too. Yeah, it lingers too. It's gonna be a while. It doesn't go where it doesn't go away for a while.
Yeah,
it's gonna stay
I went
there.
To the doctor for my arm, and he was basically just like, if it's like this type of thing, which like we could do an MRI, but you might as well just wait it out. He's like, it's gonna be 6 weeks to like start feeling better. So I was like, all right, man, let's ride it. I didn't want to like take medicine really. He was right. It did.
See, like that's the thing. The reason why I'm in bed is because of the fucking pills make me feel better.
Dude.
Fucking muscle relaxers fucking put me for a ride.
Yeah, they like
got
me one, and I just never picked it up. I was like, it wasn't that bad for me. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty mild. So I was like, I'll just fucking ride it out, dude. Whatever. And then, but this neck thing, man, it's one thing after the other, dude. That's just life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were in a freaking. I would have rather been here last Saturday. We had a tournament, and so we had to drive up to like right outside Chicago. It's like 3.5 hours for me. And we stayed in this like the world's worst hotel. And there was like a family that stayed, like was in the room next to us. And like they weren't like people that came with us. There's like some random, and like they were up till like 4 a.m, dude, just partying, and like had like little kids. Like I could hear them up like watching Disney movies, and I probably got like an hour of sleep that night. Had to coach all day, and like we're sitting like the tournament's over. It's like 4 or 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm literally just like, as soon as I get in this van, I'm going to sleep, man. Like
yeah.
Sitting in this van, like I'm starting to doze off, like in the gym. Everybody's like getting their stuff, and then the dude that drove there all the way, he was like, "Hey, you want to drive home?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I guess so, man."
Yeah. If you're asking me, there must be a reason I need to.
Yeah.
Shit.
Fucking say so, dude.
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, I got you,
like,
man. So I drove home, but it was I was like listening to both football games on the radio, and I think without that, I would have just fallen asleep, crashed a car in Springfield or something in the Hooters in Springfield. But it was it was a rough weekend, man.
That's dude. Oh my god.
What are you playing with?
This Rebel Tech Red Hood.
Oh,
He's fun,
badass.
dude. He's really cool. He's like super stylized, but
yeah,
like,
it looks cool.
He looks good enough with like the Rebel Tech Batman, so I got a jacket for him, like how Red Hood always wears that jacket
like
anymore.
Arkham shit, or
so like it was, so it is, but like I just painted his pants gray, like they had like that grid camo stuff. I don't know what you call it, like he has in the game.
Urban camo.
Yeah, and I just like painted it to look like the classic Red Hood. But he comes with all this shit. Like he came with like this Arkham Knight head.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
He came with like this different chest plate and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Rebel Tech is cool shit. They do a really good job too with accessories and shit like that.
Dude,
they really do.
They're
awesome, man.
It's like if this was $95, $100. It's like I wish they would have just put one out for $150 and basically just included like a second body, because you could have two completely different figures. Like he literally comes with extra arms, extra chest, extra heads. Like
Anna's got the Rebel Tech Deadpool, and that motherfucking figure is amazing.
Yeah,
dude. That's
and
cool.
So they came out with one in 2016. Then they just came out with like a 2.0 of the Rebel Tech Deadpool.
That's gotta be badass.
Year, but like their stuff, it just gets better and better and better with time. I got their Deathstroke. I'd like to see them do a 2.0 of that, but
I wasn't sure she would.
Like their stuff is just so fun to mess with, man. I love that company.
I didn't think she would like the Rebel Tech Deadpool because it is a bit stylized, but she actually likes the look. She thinks it's cool. So I'm like, nice.
Yeah, they've their stuff early on, like they had some Star Wars stuff that was just god awful.
Yeah.
Since then they've really improved, man. And it's like I said, with every release they get better. This is their Deathstroke, and he's a unit, man. He's cool. He's like nicely sized and everything.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a different head for him, but
he looks thick,
they're fun, dude.
That's badass.
Yeah, I know, and it's like compared to like he's I don't have a Marvel Legends, but like he's like about the size or like of like a bigger Marvel Legends, like a lot of these imports do. Like I'll say, like even the Mafex Batman like runs pretty small. That's
pretty cool though.
Like the Rebel Tech stuff is pretty well sized to domestic.
Nice.
Domestic figures and everything.
You gotta love that shit. I used to be one of the people that was like, if it didn't have that classic look, I wanted nothing to do with it. Man, I found that a lot of the stylized stuff is just fucking amazing. I'm loving it all.
I'm the same with like that's just right. That shit's right up my alley, dude. Like even like I don't buy Transformers, but like I like the ones like I'm like, this one looks cooler. Like the ones that are usually a little bit more stylized, or like looks, as opposed to like the more like classic kind of cartoon stuff like that. I'm like, ugh, I'm just not a fan of it. But I get why I like it.
That was the death of my interest in Transformers when they started going two-tone.
Oh well, yeah, I can understand what you mean. I started getting away from that.
Yeah,
having they started getting to where it was like tune or nothing, Ridiculous.
Yeah, I forget what the guy's last name is. Sam something. He's Sam Thompson or Thomas. He's a British dude. He got I guess the new Takara what's the dude's name? The big white dude, Jetfire. Big white dude, Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
But he had it with the Fans Toys one. And I was like, oh yeah, dude. He had like them side by side, and I was like, yeah, Fansworth one looks a million times better, dude. Like, I don't know.
I'm trying to tell people about that. I said, look, there are some third-party figures that have been done that Takar's never going to beat. They're never going to do a figure better than it. Like for instance, the Sovereign is incredible. That's the to me, that's the Galvatron. That is the Galvatron. You want an MPA style or size, whatever you want, stylized, Galvatron.
I might go as far to say,
even
farther than saying that's the Galvatron to saying that's the MP toy.
That's the yes. I would agree with that too. Yep, I think you're right.
Figure.
I think Sovereign is the pinnacle of Masterpiece figures, and it's been downhill ever since.
Yeah, because even the third-party Masterpiece stuff to me hasn't nothing that I've seen that's been done since Sovereign to me has hit like Sovereign did. Sovereign was everything. That figure was. And god damn. And what was the other one? The other, remember the Galvatron you got? The other MD Galvatron. Tyrant. And I thought Tyrant was the pinnacle at one point because I thought that was
DX9.
DX9. And it was really a good looking Galvatron. I thought it was amazing. And in Sovereign, they had Sovereign. I was like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. They actually found a way to top that. Good God, it was amazing. And that's what I mean is so they were saying Takara might do it. And I'm like, why would Takara even try that? You're gonna lose.
I'm sure they got people that are just like in the bag for them.
That's what it is.
But you also got to figure how long ago Sovereign came out at this point. What?
Yeah, but you know what? I guess it probably hasn't been about that long. Yeah,
and I think it's up around 400 on eBay.
It's still. And what's funny, it came out that long ago, and I think it still holds up.
Oh, definitely.
That motherfucker will still hold up against any of your any MP you want next to it. It's gonna outdo it. And it's. When I remember we were talking about that discussion a couple years ago about Takara doing a Galvatron, and I was just like, I don't think they should even bother. Just use your time and energy on another character. Galvatron's done.
It's easy. Money. It's easy money for them whenever they do it.
That's what it is, and what Sam said is right.
There's no licensing for it. There are Takara. There are Takara diehards.
There are.
That give them a certain amount of purchase, that they can guarantee on.
They know they're going to move that many units.
Yeah.
They know how many units. Yeah. So you're right. That's what it is. And they'll do it, and they'll probably charge more than Sovereign was when Sovereign first came out.
It'll literally be like $275, dude. Like, and I get it. I understand like the prices of everything going up, and it's like. I was looking at it like if you go to the store and like lettuce is more expensive and then like bacon's more expensive than like if you go to a restaurant, then like obviously a BLT is going to be more expensive because it like uses all those things and it's like I understand that, but their prices are. I wonder if people feel like they're still getting the same value.
Yo,
it's crazy, dude. Everything's going up.
we need Jurassic Park to happen so that we can make more plastic.
I know, man. It doesn't have to be a finite resource.
Oh shit! My god!
All these dinosaurs to die, and then we just wait millions and millions of.
We get Ted Nugent up in a fucking helicopter, and we let a whole bunch of Stegosauruses go.
Dude. Hey, make a reality show about it on the History Channel.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking good.
Did you ever see that when he fucking killed all them hogs?
Yeah. No,
oh, dude, you've got to.
I did, yeah.
We'll look after the show, dude. He's up. Fucking Rogan turned me on to that one. Fucking up in a helicopter with I guess it's an AR-15 and just.
Yeah, dude. There's like places in like Oklahoma and Texas where like those hogs are like a real fucking problem. Like in Iowa too. Man. Like, man, we were at this wrestling camp and
they're a problem down here too. And Louisiana.
Hey, you can't talk about big women like that, Nick. Come on, bro.
You know I love the big women though.
Same.
No, I know in Louisiana they have they have like a hunting season for them, don't they?
Hog
so that's like
season.
legit. Yeah, it's like a legit hunting season. They and the motherfuckers down there, they cook them bitches up and eat them like a motherfucker. Boy, they love that shit. There's this dude I watch on YouTube channel. I watch where this guy will actually trap them, and then they'll take them and they'll slaughter them, and they'll show everything, dude. He's pretty graphic.
Dude, they're fucking big too, man.
Yeah, they're nice, good size.
I mean, pigs are big too.
Yeah, they are. They are. That's true.
Large, it's like a thing people don't like necessarily. You're not seeing them up close a lot. You know, I feel like you ask somebody like how big's a chicken, you have like a pretty good idea of how big a chicken is. You can go buy a whole one at the store. You know, but like pigs are huge, dude.
No, not only that. Like I watched that Hogzilla fucking documentary.
Dude, I remember. Were they trying to figure out if that picture's real or not?
Yeah,
God,
that fucking gigantic.
That era of like History Channel, like before, like you could. It was like the internet was around, but like it was like pre-smartphone. Like you couldn't just look it up with ease. You had to be like, okay, do I want to like watch the rest of this documentary? Like go into my other room and like log on to like my dial-up. You know? They still had an edge in that way.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
So, like what they talk about on that one is like how little time it takes for a domestic pig to go fucking hog wild.
Feral, dude. Yeah.
Completely feral. Their body completely changes, and it happens within months.
Yeah, and then like they're just these like wild monsters, and they like will bite people.
Yeah, so I guess it doesn't take them long to turn wild, right? If they get out, so that's wild, man.
They adapt just that fast.
Well, they are some incredible. They're incredible creatures, man. I tell you, spending time on a farm and on my team. I didn't care for them, put it that way. I tell everyone the worst.
Okay.
I used to watch that every time it would come on, man. That documentary.
The worst thing in the world is cleaning a chicken coop. But the pigs and the hogs, they're not much work. They're not of the distant second at all.
Usually, man, the pigs were nice when I was a kid.
Oh man,
we only had two though. We had Barkula and Bertha.
Barkula.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Barkula.
When she'd go into heat, he'd bark.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
And my grandmother had like 5 of them, and they were always having fucking babies. Jesus Christ, the fucking females are always pregnant, constantly pregnant. And
that's good,
she was, but they're just obnoxious though, because they know, like, they're smart enough to know when it's time for food to come to them and shit, when it's time to eat. So you come down with a feed and shit, you know, and they're coming over and they're just sticking their snouts through the fucking fences and shit, trying to get. Damn, you nasty bastards, get away.
But yeah, fucking turkeys, man. Turkeys are mean as shit.
Oh man, I never had to fuck with them too much, but
I've only eaten them.
Now a rooster can be mean, but a turkey, just a hen or a fucking tom, whatever, fucking vicious, man. And then like one time, I watched them get slaughtered, and all they do is they put them on a block, chop the head off, and let the fucking thing run around until it stops.
How long does it run around for?
Dude, it was a good minute or so because I thought it was chasing me, so I started running around.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible.
I was scared out of my fucking mind. This headless turkey, fucking the neck spurting blood.
Yeah, dude. Jesus.
God damn, dude. That's the first time I saw my grandmother chop the head off a chicken. I was all freaked out because she wanted me to do it and I couldn't do it. I was a little bit too much of a bitch. So she got mad at me. And she's like, "It's real simple, son. You just take it and cook." And his fucking body was
blam.
Dude, I was so freaked out. There's blood squirting and this fucking body is squirting blood and freaking out on the ground and shit. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I told my cousins are like, oh, see, she taught you how to do it. And I'm like, dude, I think I'm like traumatized.
Dude, I don't know how my father got away with this shit because we lived in like a fucking suburban town.
No shit.
Right, right back of the property was the Shawshene River.
Oh no shit.
And so, like, it was wood. We had a decent sized yard. It was a beautiful yard. And then I guess the property went all the way back to the river. And yeah, my dad put like a bus back there. He was hauling fucking wood and doing all sorts of shit. He had a pig pen. He had his a chicken pen. He had a turkey pen. Yeah.
God damn, man.
Dude,
we got room behind us. Not that much room though.
in a suburban neighborhood in Massachusetts.
Yeah. It's like one of the most developed places on earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, what the hell?
God damn. God
My
damn. You guys see all these freaking like Chinese balloons that are floating around.
Yeah.
There was one in Missouri, dude. Like, I guess I don't know. I wonder. I'm trying to think of like what are they looking for, but I guess there's an Air Force base over there. You know,
yeah, because like one of the main NORAD bases is in Montana.
I know they shot one.
The other one
they shot one down in like that was over like one of the Carolinas. Oh yeah, it was off the coast of the Carolinas, I guess, or something like that. And
like these things are like they're huge. Apparently, they're like the size of like 3 city buses, like in diameter. Like,
that was my first thought was. My first thought was just shoot them down, and Anna goes, "Well, honey, they're really big balloons. They're kind of worried about if they're going to come down on top of something."
You're landing like a preschool,
right? So silly me, I go, "They're just fucking balloons." She's like, "No,"
and you don't know, like, if they had any fucking countermeasures on them or what.
That's true too.
True. Yeah. Well, I think they would
kind of crazy.
They would be not add those things because that would just spell disaster. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, you know me. I'm just one of the people that's like, oh fuck it, they're just balloons, pop them bitches.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I thought too, dude. I was like, yeah, just pop them or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone's trying to explain to me why that's a bad idea, and I'm like, whatever, you know.
Yeah. They're
like,
just
quit bitching it.
COVID.
yeah, filled with COVID.
Yeah.
That's what the Republicans will be all screaming. Or those Chinese are trying to send the COVID over to us again. Go.
That was some crazy shit this week.
Oh my god!
They fucking removed Ilhan Omar from both of her committees.
Yeah, from free. I know that
he has apparently like said a bunch of stuff like in the past, like it's like just straight up like anti-Semitic, man, and it's like and kind of not had it was so like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about that, and it must have been old. Because like when this shit all went down, and like, no, it was this dude who was in Congress at the time, really smart dude. I think he was a Republican, but he's like a libertarian now or something. But they were like, Nancy Pelosi at the time was like kind of pressed to put out a statement to be like, this shit, like we don't support this or whatever,
right? And
I think it ended up being like turning into this blanket statement of like, we, reject any forms of like hatred and including, and then it listed like every type of ism that there was, like sexism, racism, like bias against people. So it basically boiled down like the most like boilerplate kind of like milquetoast statement of like, we don't, we're
against
we don't accept any
bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're against anything that's bad, but it didn't like deal with the issue at hand. Like, so I think that's dumb. And she should definitely be taken to task for stuff like that. She has some really goofy and bad ideas about things like that.
But it looks really bad when you take her off of foreign was it foreign policy committee, because she's it makes it look like the Republicans are being totally racist. Totally racist.
My thing is
whenever you're making that decision, like
my thing is like,
if I'm them,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that accusing Jewish people of having lasers in the sky that started wildfires in California might
100%
count as anti-Semitic too. And
100%.
if somebody else is on committee saying that shit and they're not taking off,
right.
Dude, yeah, and that's
good point.
To me, like both of those things are equally batshit crazy, and like my stance always like just apply that shit fairly, like apply that shit everywhere where it would come up, and you save yourself a lot. You get rid of all the kooks, kind of showing that like, there isn't a place for you in there. But it's just a tough place to be in right now because nobody. Well, I don't want to say nobody, but I think a lot of people, when they're going to vote, they don't necessarily care about the person either way. They're just going to see the letter next to their name, and that's how they're going to vote.
You know how that drives
a total scumbag, right?
Yeah, it drives me crazy though, because it's like that's you know what, I'm not saying people should not have the right to vote. Never would I say that. But what drives me crazy is people that go and vote without any knowledge. And you're right. The only knowledge they have is R or D. That's it. They don't and they go, I'm gonna vote for the D because that's what I always vote for. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, come on, dude.
Because because like you're bound to at some point elect a kook, and that's why I think we have so many kooks in that are in Congress.
Look,
and I think like their motivations are to not necessarily do anything. I think their motivations are more to like not have their name attached to something that might make them look bad 12 years from now, right? Obviously, motivation one, get reelected,
right?
Get that pension, keep that money coming in. Motivation two is in order to get reelected, like just do nothing. Have your name tied to nothing that could be
can be used against you.
Yeah, they can be used against you.
Yeah,
next
don't
year
stand.
Or in 4 years.
We go walk the fence, right? Way to walk the fence. Don't go on one side or the other.
Yeah. And then like it's kind of third to that is like say something or tweet something so preposterous that you're going to be on either CNN the next day or on Fox News the next day,
right?
Doing all the TV hits and stuff, and it just kind of leaves people to have like how like people on like a lot of people on just on social media like just love to have hot takes, right? It's like the real life like Twitter hot take. Like you just want to say the thing that's going to get you the most attention for that time, even if it's indefensible, right?
Yeah. Well, Anna's mother, and I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, God bless her soul, but me and her used to get into it all the time because she'd get pissed at me because I wasn't a staunch Democrat. She would get so angry with me that I would vote that I would vote for Republicans. And she would get so angry at me. She'd be like, "What is wrong with you? They don't care about you." And I'd say, "No, that's not true. Some of the things in their that they're running on are things I care about, things I give a shit about,
Yeah.
And she would see, and she would get so mad. I'm like, "Listen, I don't go and vote for somebody because of their party affiliation. I vote for them for what they say they're about." That's what I go by, and
that's like the good thing about like local elections here where I live, because it's like those are the only ones where I literally will like go down the ballot and like check every box, because if it's like state stuff or like national stuff, like I'm like, I don't know who these people are most of the time, but like with local elections here, like it's like a big little town, so like will literally know most of these people, or like at least know what they're about. So it's like I don't care like who this what this person's party affiliation is. Like they're cool, and their husband's the principal at high school, and I know him, what I mean? So it's like that stuff's helpful. But it's just goofy. At least a lot of kooks, man. A lot of kooks running around.
Yo, I don't know if like George Santos might be the most interesting man in the world.
100%,
dude. 100%. That guy, man. Every time I turn around, there's something new he's saying. Something new and stupid. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and it's like this certain kind of like like of fancy to where they're like every big event, like they need to be attached to it somehow. And like I've met people like this, right? Where it's like it could be the most tenuous thing, but like he's I guess like he stepped down from I think all his
committees.
All his committees.
Oh, did he? Did he step down from all his committees?
Which to me is surprising because
he said he wouldn't. He said he wouldn't at first.
I kind of thought that too, and I kind of honestly thought that like in this kind of climate, like you can literally like the move is to do what Dana White did. and you don't even have to. In Dana White's case, I don't even think he needed to apologize. But like nobody's talking about that shit anymore because Conor McGregor is going to be the coach of the next Ultimate Fighter against Michael Chandler, and that's what everyone's talking about, right? So it's like you really, like just fucking wait, and I
till the next news cycle, right?
Everybody that stood tall, that's had like a reason to stand tall, in that cancel movement, like. Has survived.
I know, and I agree with you too, but I do think there are a lot of people who, under pressure, gave some goofy apologies. I don't think that they should have given. Right? It happened with some historians and stuff. Like who's like their books I've read where like they gave some goofy apologies under pressure that I don't think were fair. But
all right, George Santos,
wait it out, man. I mean, just wait it out.
But he can't wait it out though, because every time he doesn't give any time to let shit go before he's lying about something else. So George Santos can never wait it out,
man. Yeah.
I mean, and the dude,
so many things piling up.
They got pictures of him as dressed in drag, and he's saying, "That's not me. That's not me." It's like, dude, that's you, man. Look at the
and he was at the like young gay Republican thing.
Yeah, man. It's like his name was like Chichi Chikanga or something like that. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, no, but he was there, and like not in the one where he was in drag, but like he was at some like Nick said, was like some gay Republican thing, but like he was under a different name. So
Anthony
it wasn't like something. It
weird.
It wasn't like his drag stage name.
God.
But like I was listening to this dude, and he was like,
is he wanted in Brazil or not?
That's weird, man. It's crazy. No, that's just it. Nobody knows the truth about him for real. Because there's so much lying out there that you don't know what is truth and what's lying. You don't know what it is now.
Why did Kevin McCarthy kind of stand by him just for his vote? Like
that's it. Oh yeah, that was definitely why.
Did he need that one vote that badly?
Yeah, because shit's very thin right now. They have a very slim majority. It's pretty
not enough people. Yeah, and like Kevin McCarthy had a hard enough time becoming
the House Speaker,
right? So, and I think he had to give up a lot of ground in order to just do that. Took too many votes, and when that was all going on, I was like, "This is great! Like this is what I love. I love this. I love this like dissension within like the House generally, but also like just within one party, because it just show. I think it's good that not everyone is just going to be like, we're just going to sign on to whatever, and kind of just like steamroll these goofy bills or anything like that. I think that's going to be like problems no matter which party's in charge. But I love to see that, man. I was like, this is great. This is what politics people disagreeing, right? So it's like that's this is I was like really heartened by that, and I hope that is a trend that continues, right? Where like people are taking the task and be like, yeah, if you want this thing, what do you maybe it's deal making or whatever, but like what are you gonna do? Like
how
much you're willing to compromise and
right.
Power
so crazy though, but like I would have been like, yo, I can find a vote somewhere else.
yeah
maybe,
but now like he's the Speaker of the House and he's tied to this crazy fuck.
I know, and I don't think from what I've heard about Kevin McCarthy is like he kind of is just interested in power. Like he doesn't seem to be a very thoughtful guy or anything like that.
Yeah, but it was dumb because he's like a speaker in title only. He really doesn't have any power now because his balls have been clipped. Like he's promised so many things to so many people.
I know. It's just going to be a bunch of goofy appointments to committees, right? So
right. Well, mostly, but then. Go ahead.
Then there's the hidden fucking agreement with Matt Gaetz and his bunch.
Right.
Nobody knows what the terms are that Matt Gaetz admitted to on MSNBC.
Little sketchy. He got something he agreed to get them the.
Yeah, I just don't have my copy.
Yeah. Plus, he also agreed to where he can
Matt
be
Gaetz
called.
Is funny to me, man.
like a vote of confidence can be called against him by one member of the House.
Good.
Doesn't have to be seconded. Doesn't have to be. So one member of the House can say, and then they have to have a new election for a new speaker, and he has to hope that he can win it again.
Yeah, that should be the standard. That should be the standard.
You're saying one vote should be able to call.
Yes, dude. Yes, make it hard to keep that position, man. Make it.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but you can't do that because you have one person who's gonna be a rogue to both parties and just disagree.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, because I like the idea of and here's the thing, because this happened under. Oh man, I think it would have been Nancy Pelosi, like pre-Obama or early Obama, to the point where you couldn't bring a vote to the floor, unless the speaker approved it. And
it was probably Pelosi.
And I think that's super fucked up. But nobody and people railed against that who were against it on the other side. But then nobody changed it because the people in power said, "Well, now that I'm in power, I really like that." It's like Paul Ryan didn't give that up. And then when Nancy Pelosi came back, she didn't give that up. So it's like, I think it just goes to show, like, that's something where it's like, what are people's interests? Are they interested in making the system better?
Yeah.
It's just when they're in power, they like to use the tool of their enemy to beat their enemy. And I think that sucks. And I think that should kind of be a change. And I'd like to see that happen, but it's not going to happen with Kevin McCarthy, certainly. And it's not going to happen. I don't know who would be after him
he's Matt Gaetz nominated Trump.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
Well, so like, you don't have to be in Congress, right? To be the Speaker of the House.
I guess not. I guess not.
I mean, Adam West could do it. You know what I mean? Like, freaking.
If he was still alive, rest in peace.
Yeah, right. Adam West from the grave is gonna do it.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
Hey, fuck, dude. He'd probably do a better job than the living.
God damn it, Sam.
I know, man. Yeah, no.
That's a funny guy, man. I don't know. That's insane.
Yeah, that was like the funniest thing, and I didn't realize that until this whole thing was going on, that you didn't even have to be in. I could be Speaker of the House. Wouldn't that be something?
Dude?
It's weird, man. I thought you had to be a member of the House.
I could never be in the House because I would be like nominating motherfuckers off the street like all the time. I'd be like,
I nominate that bum.
I nominate man. I'd be like, I nominate Alex Jones for Speaker of the House.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what?
And I would
just
be like, we're bringing every single vote to the floor. I don't care what it is.
You know what? He needs all the help he can get. He needs help right now. He's in trouble. So
do they get a salary for that?
Yeah, really. He needs the gig, man. He's
like, what's the salary? We talking $90 million?
Man.
What's the salary and how many horse pills can I get in a week?
So a lot of the text messages were made public.
Yeah.
And oh my God, that Alex Jones is one kinky motherfucker, dude. He's into some dirty shit, dude. This is the dude who cracked.
She didn't know.
No, I'm wondering if this guy who is Mr. Anti-Gay. I'm starting to wonder if he's bi, dude. I think he's bi. I think he might have something going on with a dude, man. I don't know.
Fluoride has made the frogs gay, so unfortunately,
is that like a thing?
It's come on down to InfoWars. And
yeah, well, he always says stupid shit about the causes of homosexuality and stuff. You know, and he says he comes across. It's like, what the fuck, you know?
Well, dude,
and now
so that like the idea of like a conservative being anti-gay is something that like George Santos has kind of like spun that on his.
Because like, you would think.
And then, like, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing that like
it is, but it's a good thing. Hold on, mate. It's a good thing if he's legit. It's the problem. We don't know what Santos really stands for at all, anyway.
So
we don't know.
Thing, dude, that shit of him dressed in drag. He's legit. He's gay. He's legit.
Dude, he should. No, I believe him. You know what's funny? Look, Sam, check this out. If that is it, and I think it is him dressed in drag. I think it is him.
I do too.
Why wouldn't you admit that? Say, yeah, I performed.
Because I was great at the whole Republican Party right now is against drag.
So
it's like one of their whole huge fucking things, dude.
But he's gay. Of course he's dressed in drag. Come on.
I agree with a lot of that stuff with like the drag stuff is weird. Like I don't, and this could be a hot take and I can get some heat for it, but I don't know why any of that shit like should involve kids. You know what I mean? Like
but it doesn't involve kids. That's baloney.
I don't have a problem with a transsexual or drag queen down at the library reading a kid a book. As long,
yeah. Well, so like, I guess my thing is like, when did that become a thing? Like, what is
when people started being able to choose how they want. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
I know people that I have talked to that are friends of mine who have said and that they would have appreciated something like that in their youth when they were younger.
Or just being able to like be, I guess, exposed
to be exposed, yeah.
But because there's an understanding that you get of people that so that you have an understanding and you get you're not being deceived by these lies about them. Oh, they're out to convert your children, and get out of here, man. No, they're not.
Now,
man, so crazy.
I've been to drag shows.
So have
and I love a good drag show.
So do I.
But
Yep.
Taking anybody to a drag show that's under the age of 18, I do think is suspect.
Well, of course it is, but it's not. Those shows aren't meant to be for little kids.
Yes,
they're meant for adults.
I've seen like videos and shit of some stuff that I would be like, I would never in a million fucking years bring my kids to. Like,
right?
I'm like, and it's I mean, and I'm not saying Russ. I'm not saying everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying everyone one way or the other. But I've seen some shit where it's like it's literally it's sexually explicit, and there's no other way around it. And I don't want to. With my kids at 8, 5, and 1 to be like,
right? Of course not. Of course. And you know what? You know what that makes you, Sam? A good parent, because a good parent does make sure that they're not exposing their kids too young.
Well, no,
to stuff like that.
But and here's the thing: like with me, my stance is that like you're right. I'm the parent, so I choose whether I my kids.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that I think it should be banned for nobody.
Exactly. That's
right. Choose. And I think that to me is my principle with literally most things. Like if you don't want to do so, if you don't want your kids to do something, or if you don't want to do something yourself, don't do it.
Agreed.
If you strongly feel that other people shouldn't do that thing, argue in a convincing way against it.
Yeah.
But then, like when you get to banning things, then that's where I'm like, we can't do that.
Don't call yourself the party of personal liberty and freedom.
Personal responsibility. Yeah.
And then tell me as a parent I can't choose to take my kid where I want to take my kid.
Yeah, and
true.
Like
or choose not to take my kid somewhere, right?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
agreed.
That's the thing is like.
Yeah.
My personal feeling is that I would not take my kid at least under 18 to a drag show. That's my personal opinion.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that somebody else that does that is wrong.
Yeah, no, not at all. I agree with that.
And that's basically like my stance on it. And like also and it's like
it shouldn't be legislated.
Yeah. I agree.
Exactly. And I think the idea that is a really pernicious idea that exists with so many people is that these kind of personal or maybe even interpersonal problems can all be solved at the federal government level or the state government level. Like stop counting on that to be the solution to your problems. Like,
well, you've got a lot of the moral police want to basically make everybody live by what their beliefs, and
there's an over concern on, and this is, and I don't want to be the guy who's like, well, both sides, but it literally is like, what else do you want to say? Where there's an over concern with what other people's ideas are about things, and then policing other people's ideas.
Right, a good point.
And that's and I think
that's true.
That's just silly, and I think if you have a problem, I think social media definitely leads to that because you're just exposed to more ideas. But I think if you say, well, I have a problem with social media, you ultimately have a problem with people because there's not a Twitter robot just generating ideas. Like it's people expressing themselves in what they believe. And
you want to know someone who needs help who should go to social media for ideas? The motherfuckers that are coming up with the ideas for DC movies.
No, I think they need to do the opposite.
Maybe you're right. Maybe not go to social media. Jesus. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think they need to stay the fuck away and stop because we're gonna get 9 more Snyder Cut movies. movies.
It's too funny. It's a good point. I like the Snyder cut. The Snyder do all of them.
Dude,
oh
so
God, calm down,
there's
dude.
there's a big push right now of like having Netflix buy something. I don't know what that would be, but like there's people like banking on like we're gonna get this Ben Affleck Batman movie where he fights Deathstroke. We're gonna get the Justice League 2 and 3, and it's
my God,
it's a bummer.
That's so crazy. Just like let it go, guys. They gotta fix
I know,
it.
yeah,
happen.
We're lucky.
Yeah, I don't think
lucky
so.
to have even gotten the Snyder cut, and that just happened.
Really?
And literally, without a global pandemic, that never would have fucking happened.
True.
Dude, I had the wrong D when I said that within 5 years DC was going to be bought by somebody.
Yeah.
Instead of Disney, it was Discovery.
Yeah. True.
So
That's
weird.
crazy, isn't it? Like I didn't know. I didn't even think about that. It was like Discovery would come in, and now they're taking a bunch of shit off HBO.
Yeah, man, the
It's
fucking
crazy,
Justice
dude.
League and Justice League Unlimited are going in this month.
Man, that's
No
crazy
shit.
as fuck,
Dude,
dude.
so
Yeah.
I haven't been on HBO Max in
Oh, dude.
It was other than to rewatch the Batman, but that's it.
Oh,
Like,
wait, have you guys been watching The Last of Us?
I have not yet. I have not started it yet. I've got to start it.
You know what? One show, what we should do is a live watch along to the 3rd episode of that. It's got guest stars Nick Offerman.
Yeah, he's great and everything. Yeah, no, I want to,
dude. Yeah,
I want to get caught up because I don't know anything about the game. I know very little about the premise, but it's HBO, so it's good. it's gonna be good.
All I've heard,
watchable, right?
Honestly, all I've heard is good about it. I haven't heard one person say it's bad. Everyone I've talked to that's seen it said, and most people I've talked to were fans of the video game. Yeah. So they told me that that they did a good job sticking to the video. And by the way, from what I've been told, I've never played it before, but I've been told that it's probably the best story-driven video game in a long time. They're coming around. It's really good. It's supposed to be. Yeah. I mean, my son even praises it, and he's pretty. That's not his kind of game typically.
I know the voice cast is amazing because Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey from Critical Role. Are both got BAFTAs for it.
Yeah,
damn,
it's
over there in Britain, man. They treat their video game awards seriously. They're done by the BAFTAs, the same things that are basically the British Oscars.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
It's
pretty
cool.
The premise behind the virus is really interesting because it's like
a fungal thing, right?
Yeah, it's a cordyceps mushrooms. Like, if you've ever seen
that true in the game as well, or is that just for the?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
I haven't played the game, and I've only seen like one episode of the show, and it was only the 3rd episode. I got like dropped, tits deep.
Oh, so you didn't even watch the first 2?
No, because
wow. Okay, so from what I hear about like the first 2 is it's pretty close to the game, and the 3rd one is kind of like takes like a snippet and then spends an episode on it.
Yeah, so like basically they take like a plot point and make it into a whole episode
that's interesting.
Explain like the backstory of it.
Not bad. I by the way, Nick, I watched the menu today.
Okay.
That was not what I expected.
What did you think?
It was fucking great. I liked it. It was crazy as fuck. Anna and I sat down and watched it. And Anna was like, "Do you know what this is about?" I said, "No, I really don't." No clue. So we watch it, and Anna's going, and they get to a certain point in it where you're going, "What the fuck?" This just took a twisted turn, and it started, and then it kept getting more and more twisted as it went along, and you're like, and then you watch it. This guy gets stood up. You shouldn't know. We all should know something was crazy because they lay this sheet down on the ground without giving too much away. I don't want to give too much away, but they lay a sheet on the ground and they put this fucking plastic up behind this dude. And right away, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? And he comes out and tells how good this guy wrote to him. He wanted to be a chef. He wanted to work with him. And he says, but he'll never be great. He'll only be good because he's not like me. I'm great. He'll never be great. He pummels this dude, man.
Dude,
like, oh my god,
dude, just to be honest about it, Ray Fiennes is Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, he's good, man.
So
he's good in everything,
dude. Any movie that dude is in, he fucking pulls it off.
Is it me or does he play like his best parts, his best roles that I remember that stick out to me that I see him in? He is a deviant. When he plays a really deviant, evil fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's like those are the roles I remember him the most in, and he's like, God damn, dude.
I couldn't believe that he wasn't nominated for Red Dragon.
Oh, he should have been. Mm-hmm. He was so good in that. Oh my God, Red Dragon is a really good movie too. I think people don't give that props.
Edward Norton is no slouch as an actor, and Ray Fiennes stole that fucking movie.
Absolutely, he did. He was
from fucking Anthony Hopkins and Edward Norton.
I agree.
And
he was really
Hopkins
good.
Is playing a fucking iconic character that won him an Oscar.
Well, yeah, and also the character that people most are going to know going into that movie. That character, we're going to know that these and you're watching these and to me, he I agree with you. He stole the show. Is a perfect way of putting it. He did such a good acting job in it. You're like, he always plays characters that you love to hate,
dude. And whenever he's on screen in the Harry Potter franchise, you can't take your eyes off him.
No, dude, he's great.
I mean, he's just an incredible actor. I see.
Sam, when you watch that movie, I want to talk about it on the show, man.
Yeah, so I want to watch it. I know what happens in it. Like I read the premise or whatever, like the plot breakdown on Wikipedia. It was like a month or so ago, but I do want to watch it. That's on the list.
I didn't read any of that. I went into this shit pretty blank. I didn't know nothing about this.
I kind of wish I hadn't have done that.
Oh,
but
it was I never do that with movies. I always look into a movie before I watch it, and I didn't do it for this one.
Dude,
and
I used to never do it, but now it's like literally every Marvel movie. Like as soon as it comes out, I'll just look it up because I just want to see.
Sure,
like
absolutely right. But I haven't. This movie, going into this movie the way I did, it made the movie so much better for me.
What is that lead actress's name?
And it's Anya Joy. She's my favorite, dude. She's great.
Yes. She's good. She was really good.
So, and it's like she's good. Not only she's good in everything, but everything that she's in is good. So, her and there's another actor. I forget the dude's name. He was in. Oh fuck. Lucas Hedges is his name. Mm-hmm. But like he's just one of these actors where it's like literally every movie that they're in is really good. And like Anya Taylor-Joy's one of them. She's gonna be in that Mad Max Furiosa movie. Mm-hmm. I think she's a lead in that. She was in The Witch, which is incredible.
She's pretty, dude.
She was in that that fucking show on Netflix Mutants. About chess.
Yeah.
Well, I never saw New Mutants, so I can't speak to
the Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah.
I started watching that, but it's only got like the young kid in it for right now.
Queen's Gambit,
dude, it gets really good. It's really good.
Yeah, so Anna watched it, and then Anna was like the one that told me, you got to watch this. So she rewatched it with me, and I was like, it was not something I even had any interest in. And when I watched it, I was blown away by it. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was enjoyable. I like it for sure.
Onto that.
God damn.
The thing about the menu is like you have Ray Fiennes. Like this fucking consummate actor.
Yep.
Bang. Then you have that Anya Taylor-Joy lady. And she like I haven't seen her in anything. Like I said, she was in like 5 minutes for like the beginning of the Queen's Gambit for what I've watched so far. So like I've been watching that, but like I haven't seen her except for this. And like she like definitely held her ground because that was an ensemble cast.
It was
100%.
The kid had some really good. What the chick from Who's the Boss?
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo's in it.
That he's good.
Mm-hmm. What's her name?
The lady
Who's
from
the Boss?
Yep. Joy Lift, is it?
Judith Light. Judith Light is in it. And who's the chick? Who was the actress that played the food critic? I can't remember where she. I thought she was the chick from Desperate House. I think she was from Desperate Housewives back in the day. I think she's one of them. I couldn't remember her name, but I just when you just recognize a face and you're like, what's really crazy is some of these actors are getting older, so they're starting to change their appearances, trying to change a little bit. But you can still identify them. You're like, it's the old lady. Yeah.
And Judith Light's husband is a character actor.
Yeah.
And he's just gotten older.
Older.
I don't know any of the frat bros that were in the movie, but they actually did well.
They were good. They were good too. Yeah.
Leguizamo was good.
He was really good. He plays like the actor who's like, I guess, past his
on
prime.
the downside of his career.
The downside of his career. But I don't know. It was just an amazing. It's a good. Everyone who hasn't watched it yet, give it a try. You're gonna. It's a fucking crazy movie. It's fucked up in a lot of ways, but it's fun. I so enjoyed it. I really did. I told Anna I want to watch it again because I
please do, because, like I want to go I want to go like deep on this movie because there's like some shit in it.
Well, it's just I'll give you an idea. Have you ever seen a movie that's kind of you get an idea of what this movie's going to be about?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, about 25 minutes into the movie, it completely switches gears and speed on you really fast into something you did not expect. Like where you're like, what the fuck? Whoa. That's what this movie did to me.
Yeah.
I didn't, and it probably helped that I didn't do any research on it. I knew nothing about it. And I just went, what the fuck did I just watch? I was like, whoa. So it's
and there's a scene that a lot of people are going to be talking about for a long time.
Just a couple of them.
Yeah,
I know. I think I know which one you're talking about though. Yeah.
So
it's just food.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start talking a little WWE while Sam gets back. Fucking
sure.
Rumble time, baby.
Okay. So let me ask you. We and you and I joke around, but it's joking, but it's true. How we, the women's Royal Rumble is botcharoma. Botcharama. It's constant. I mean, and I'm not saying the men don't have their botches. They do, but just not like the women. But I actually I enjoyed the women's Royal Rumble this year, and it's like the first year where I can truly say I really feel like, holy fuck, I really liked it. It was fun, even though there were a lot of fuck ups. There were a lot of fuck ups. You could see them, and it looks. And they tried to clean them up, but then it looked worse. So just go. But
there was a bot. I can't remember, but I remember specifically thinking about a botch in one of the men's matches. It might have been the Rumble, and I was like, God damn it! They hadn't moved the camera the way they did. You wouldn't have been able to tell.
Yeah, I agree. That happens a lot too. But it was the Rumble matches. I think were both enjoyable this year.
Dominic had some botches.
Dominic had some botches. Dominic botches a lot. Yeah, this is Dominic. Dominic's got to the point where if he doesn't botch, I would worry. But Edge definitely botched a bit.
I think it was a smart move putting the men's Rumble on first because there was no fucking anticipation for it because everybody knew what was going to happen.
I agree. I think everybody knew who was going to win it. I think everybody knew. Everyone knew hands down that Well, I will say this. I will say this. Dominic stayed in longer than I thought he would. That's what I'll say. I thought Dominic would be gone earlier than he was, and he actually stayed in for a while. I was pretty surprised,
I think because of what's happened at this Rumble, WrestleMania, Roman Reigns is going to be wrestling 2 matches.
Possibility, and
I think he's going to main event each night.
I think it's possible. He loses both his belts.
Yep. I think he goes. Yep. I think it's going to end up being. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, Ralphie.
Hey, Wolfie. But yeah, man.
I also believe that We know Cody. We know he's at the match against Cody, but Cody's on Raw, right? So it's possible you could end up having him defending the Raw belt and the SmackDown belt.
Yeah.
On 2 separate nights, and I mean, I guess they're gonna have him in the match at the what's it called, the stupid next pay-per-view, the
Elimination Chamber.
He's gonna have a match against Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Okay, get that. That's fine, and he'll beat Sami Zayn. He's not gonna lose to Sami Zayn. We know that, but I got a feeling at the WrestleMania you're going to have he's going to have his bloodline outside the ring, and they're going to get involved like they always do in matches. And I think you're going to have other people getting involved in the match too, and they're going to help. And somehow they're going to cost them the belts, at least one belt.
Yeah. So we know at least he's fighting at least Cody.
We know he's definitely fighting Cody, and I don't. I think this is a good time to split the belts again. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's overdue.
Do you have him keep the SmackDown belt?
Well, that's a possibility. I could see that. I could see them maybe splitting the belts and having Cody win the Raw title, and maybe him holding on to the SmackDown belt. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if he drops both belts, man. I'll say this
either.
Because
I don't know if it's going to be Sami Zayn at Mania. I think you might see Jey Uso.
How about that too? They didn't really address he sort of addressed it on SmackDown, but not really. Yeah. This week, so I kind of feel like they're saving the Jey. I think the Jey Uso thing is they want people to keep guessing. Keep guessing, keep wondering what's going on with him, And I mean, here's the thing: what if Jey Uso has a match against him? What if Sami Zayn shows up and helps Jey win?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just wild. I think in order to get Roman, in order to take the belts off of Roman Reigns, I feel like you're gonna I think you're gonna have to have Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
there's gonna have to be interference. There's got to be something like that. I could believe if they had Cody Rhodes win straight up, I could buy that. Cody Rhodes is a really good ring worker. He's really good. I can see that. But I feel like
the one thing I didn't like was Cody Rhodes hit the crossroads 3 times on that dude.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, that I don't like when you're about to get a huge push, devaluing your finisher like that.
Not at all. You can't do that. That sucks, man. Like, I know it's a pay-per-view, and we know people kick out of a finisher once. Yeah. Hell, sometimes even twice. But man, it took 3 of them. Come on, man. No.
And now okay, so there's excitement for the upper end of the card for WrestleMania, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna see Roman Reigns and Cody, so I'm down for that. I think that's really stylistically really a good match.
Yeah, no, I
Cody can work with anybody.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns is basically at the top of his craft right now, and I don't think he's going to be any better than he is right now.
See, and I think Roman has better matches against people that are smaller than him.
Yeah,
than
he does against bully.
Yeah, he does. He has a better match because he can. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to work as hard to pull off certain moves, and I think that's when he's at his best.
Yeah.
So here's the other one I want to know. What about the tag titles?
They're gonna split them too.
I think you're right. I think they're gonna split them again. It's time. Like, the Bloodline has been on top for a long time now, but we all know in pro wrestling, when you have a great faction, there is an expiration date on it.
I think
I
think by the time let's see. All right, so we got Mania in 2 months?
Yeah, I guess it's probably be
February now, so April.
April, yeah. So yeah, I guess you'd be about April, 2.5 months, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Mania. Then after Mania is what? SummerSlam.
Backlash usually. Oh, you mean for the main? You mean like main ones?
Yeah, like the big four.
Yeah, the next big one would be SummerSlam after Mania. Yeah,
I would say by SummerSlam, I could see a situation where the only member that's in the bloodline right now wearing a belt would be Solo Sikoa.
I kind of would dig that because I like him a lot.
I think the bloodline's done after WrestleMania.
I could see it, man. I'm a big fan of him. I kind of almost feel like they've relegated him to the guy to the big guy that just stands there and grunts. When I watched him in NXT and he was on the mic a lot and he talked a lot and he was good and he was fun. They kept him good in the ring. Let him do his thing in the ring, and that's great. Man, I'm pissed that they didn't let him talk hardly. Yeah,
I think that I really do think that they're smart enough to right now look at Roman Reigns and say, okay, this is his peak. We're gonna go ahead and fucking put him on ice and bring him back, and he'll be just as hot.
Yeah, and I also have been hearing rumors that
he's got to film a movie.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that he's got projects that he's got to be working on.
He's got to film movies, and I think he's hurt.
Well, do you notice he hasn't been even in wrestling matches? It's been kind of like he's been. I feel like he's been limited. You know, he had a tag team match where he was tagged up with Sami Zayn, and I feel like Sami Zayn did most of the work in the match. Shit, you know. So I think you might be right about that.
Yeah, like if you look at Mania like this, you fucking take both belts off of Roman. You fucking have a clean start with whatever fucking Triple H wants. You've got 2 attraction matches already at WrestleMania this year. You got Lashley and Lesnar, and I mean, I think that's
going to be a good one. I think that potentially.
That might steal the show because it's just these 2 big honking dudes just going at it.
They're just big monsters, man. They're big monsters, dude. There's also going to be, I think, a match I've been dying to see again. It's Rhea against Charlotte, for the women's, and I'm done. Love it, man.
No matter how we feel about it, dude, it's going to be Seth Rollins and fucking Logan Paul.
I don't know. I'm all right with that. I think Logan Paul might fare better with Seth Rollins than he did with Roman Reigns. He got fucked up when he wrestled Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like Roman Reigns, he ended. I mean, I know that. I think he had a broken nose. I think he. I want to say there was an injury to his shoulder, an elbow.
I'm just saying that like no matter what we say, Logan Paul is a draw.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. I don't know if he knows exactly what he's doing, but he knows enough in the ring that he's believable. It's believable.
He does a better buckshot lariat than CM fucking Punk.
Dude, yeah,
I can go with that. Why not?
Paul, I mean that dude, like he's an athlete, man. I'm not surprised he's doing well. He was like a pretty good wrestler
in Ohio.
Like in Ohio, yeah. So it's like I'm not surprised that he's having some success.
I think people just have these problems with him, and I'm like, look, that's fine, but
100%.
But people have legitimate reasons to have problems with him.
No, they do. I'm not saying they don't, but don't let that fuck with your judgment and say he has had good wrestling matches in the WWE. That match against The Miz was really good.
Yeah,
I liked it. It was wonderful. I mean, I thought he did a good job. And I just,
they need to stop trying to make him a face. He's a heel.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be a heel because the crowd hates him anyway. So make him a heel. He would do better.
Yeah, and talking about the other member of that fucking match, I need to say that I've never liked Seth Rollins more than I've liked him now after what he said about fucking CM Punk. Fuck Punk.
Well, you know what? Look,
he just straight out came out and called him a cancer.
Well,
oh my God.
Yeah, look, man. He was like, stay away from my locker room. We don't want you here.
Here you go. Okay, years ago, whoever you want to believe, supposed to be had problems with WWE's doctors. Okay, whatever.
Punk,
Punk. This is Punk, right? Says he complained to the WWE about it. They did nothing about it. Okay. And then to the point where he didn't want to come. He said he didn't want to come to work because he didn't trust their doctors or medical staff or whatever. So they fired his ass. Okay. Well, if you're not gonna come to work, why are we gonna keep you on a contract? Right. Okay. Makes sense to me. Okay. They kind of could have waited to a better day. I mean, he fired him on his wedding day. That's a little fucked up.
Yeah.
But whatever. That was a bit of a screwy thing to do. But so he tries his luck with MMA. He fails cataclysmically. He was terrible, right?
Was this Punk?
Yeah. Oh, Punk. Yeah. Punk was bad, so bad.
And he had every chance to succeed with where he was at.
Oh, Nick, he totally did. They gave him
camp.
They gave him fights against guys.
Yeah,
they gave him fights he should have won if he was any good. He just sucks, dude. So okay, so I'm cool with people. Wrestling wants him back. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Then he goes back into AEW. That pop he got was amazing when he first came back. It was incredible. People missed him, but it didn't take long before he becomes CM Punk again. That guy who thinks he's bigger than the business, and
that
all
guy
of a sudden
just wears out his welcome in the locker room.
Well, he does. Other people, when he goes back when other wrestlers just can't stand you, because you act like you're bigger than the fucking business. And they're like, "Come on, dude! I'm telling you,
you got to take like the source of it. You got to take the source of it in kind. You do. But like, I'm an Omega fan.
Well, I am too. But I think like if you've got a problem with Kenny, I think that's of your own making. No, that's not to say that can't. But here's the thing, though: Kenny Omega, though, is not a guy to shy away from calling somebody out on their shit either. And that's so. If Kenny Omega has a problem with you, then I'm a believer that there's a legit issue. There's something, and I don't know how the fight went down because I've heard a bunch of different versions of it, but
I've heard nothing but good things about Adam Page.
Well, Adam Page is a good worker. He's had to put people over, and he hasn't gotten mad. He just lost a match to fucking what's his name? Damn it. What's the name he's going by now? Jesus Christ. I can't remember his new name in AEW. No. Was the guy Dean Ambrose, but he's going by another name.
Oh, Moxley.
John Moxley. That's it. He just had a match against Moxley on Wednesday night. Put him over. Moxley won. They've put each other over each time.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, he could be a real asshole and say, "No, I'm not putting that fucking guy over." But he's smart and he understands. If you put him over later on, he'll put you over. It works that way, They're gonna. When you're stars, when you're a star, you gotta learn how to work the business and learn how to. They're gonna do you right.
CM Punk has never come out of the locker room being very well liked. No matter where he's worked. Except maybe Ring of Honor, and I mean by the wrestlers.
Oh, by the wrestlers. Okay, yeah. I mean the crowd. Well, let me tell you something. It was crazy. It's nuts when he's turned the pro wrestling fans against him, though. A lot of wrestling fans. Now, I'm not saying everyone's hating on him. He still has his fan base.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying a lot of guys that were happy to see him. After that shit went down, they were not happy about it anymore.
To be honest with you, like the way I figure it, if Tony Khan isn't releasing him, then I think that means Tony Khan sees the value in heel CM Punk for his company, and that will be happening.
Probably, and I can see it. I mean,
because Punk's injured.
He is hurt. But I don't know.
No matter what wrestlers. Run off at the mouth with. We don't know.
True. I mean, look, Tony Khan's been pretty smart. I don't know that he's gonna. I don't know. I mean, if there's a way to use CM Punk, he'll do it. Sure
it's been months. It's been months, and he hasn't released him. And the Bucks and Kenny are back.
which says something. That says that he did that. One, CM Punk's injured, and he's still recovering. But it also says that he thinks I think he thinks some of this heat is gonna die down a little bit.
Yeah.
But not all the way. And I think he's gonna bring him back in. He's gonna amp the heat up again, but bring CM Punk back as a heel. CM Punk was at his best when he was a heel anyway.
Yeah.
He's a better heel than he is a face anyway, so it works. If you want to have any value using him that way. It's
like, is CM Punk overrated?
Well, I think now he is. This CM Punk, this version of CM Punk, I think is not the guy that I remember back in the day. He's just not the same wrestler. Like, I don't think he can. I don't think he's the same guy at all. He's not. The age has caught up to him.
Yeah.
And not just the age, but the lack of the being out of the business for so long.
But like, even if you look at he was hurt in WWE. He was hurt badly, and he was dealing with chronic health issues. And okay, understandable. But if you look at the end of his WWE run, he wasn't the same wrestler.
No, I agree. That's true.
And I think that a lot of people don't give Chris Jericho enough credit in that feud with CM Punk for Jericho carrying him.
Well, I'm a big fan of Jericho, so I'll definitely give Jericho credit.
Yeah.
I think Jericho right now,
I think
as he is better than he was when he was younger, in my opinion.
Jericho, I think, is the GOAT at this point.
He is amazing, dude. He's amazing. Like I don't think he gets the props he deserves.
I think Jericho at this point is the greatest of all time.
He's amazing, dude. I know he doesn't have the titles that Ric Flair's had. I know he doesn't have maybe he hasn't reached the outside of wrestling popularity that Hulk Hogan or The Rock or even John Cena has. But in the business of pro wrestling,
Jericho plays to sold out stadiums.
Oh yeah. Anna, that's true. He's a rock star, dude. So maybe he does have that popularity,
dude. As popular as Fozzy is over here, they've sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Think about Europe. Like all those metal bands go over to Europe, and that's where they make their money. And Jericho's over there half the year.
Well, you know what? You know what I love about that guy though? Nick, he's just living his dream, dude. That's what he's doing, man. He has two big loves in his life. Oh yeah, he also is a big hockey. He likes hockey too. Yeah, but I think he's getting too old. Yeah, he loves hockey, but the two big loves in his life are his music and the fucking pro wrestling. And he's found a way to be good at both of them and make money at both of them. And he's famous as shit from both, doing both. I mean, that's awesome, dude. I nothing but good shit about him. And tell you a secret about Anna. Anna loved Chris Jericho back in the day, and then she got aggravated with him because she felt like she started telling me she felt like they were making Jericho like a clown show. She didn't like him. She didn't like him being too funny, and stuff like that.
Oh, but then, that was where I fell in love with Jericho. Was when
I did too.
Fucking the 1004 moves.
Yes, yeah. See,
armbar.
And I loved the list. The list was ingenious.
And look at all these gimmicks that Jericho's had. He keeps inventing himself over and over and over again, from company to company to company.
Yep. But she didn't like him, like he didn't like the comedy stuff as much. But we've been watching AEW, and she's been watching it with me, and she's fallen in love with him all over again. She's like, that's the Chris Jericho I love. That's good. Yeah. She likes the cocky, arrogant fucker that he is, I told her, I said, you're crazy, and she didn't love that silly shit. It was funny. It was good.
All right, guys. We're getting on to 10:30. I think we should hit this DCU movie.
Let's do this. Man. Let's do this. Let's do this.
This is insane, man. Like, before we run it down, me, pre all of this, I was just like, oh god, scoffing, like let's see what they do. But this has me, and I also, it's funny because I was thinking earlier in the week, I was like, Black Panther came on Disney Plus, and I was like, in no hurry to watch it. We watched it. I
haven't watched it
last night and then today, and it's fine, whatever. But I was like, dude, I can't remember last time I was like really excited for like and literally anything upcoming. Like the last thing was the Batman, and kind of since then I'm just like, I can't remember a spell that's been this long that I like literally just couldn't give a shit about anything that's coming out. And now, and I'm totally changed my mindset because like this has me excited, dude. 100%.
You know what's really crazy is that I was excited. Okay, the Batman movie was really good. I enjoyed that, and I was excited for that movie too. I wasn't initially, but I got excited for it as it got closer. But you know what? I got excited for Aquaman 2 until all this dumb shit came about where they wanted to cut that bitch out of the movie and everything. I'm like,
I was too, man.
You know,
I really enjoyed the first Aquaman. So
I did too.
But I don't. Even if it would have came out when it was supposed to have come out, I probably wouldn't have seen it in theaters. I wouldn't have went out of my way to see it. You know.
Me either.
See, I feel like now though they like I'm sure it's going to come out at some point, but they've done a ton of reshoots and shit now, and they're trying to cut her out of the movie as much as possible. Well, I don't know what it's gonna.
They've done a couple different endings with like a couple different Batmans at this point. They had a Michael Keaton Batman ending, and then they had a Ben Affleck come in and do some pickups. So
I don't know what to think, man. I don't know, but I mean, I agree with you. Though there wasn't a lot of stuff other, anything I was excited about. I felt like got pushed back or whatever was it.
Now,
so it wasn't how much.
I think the first thing that we need to talk about when talking about this is their synergistic approach to this.
Right.
The actor that plays Superman in the movie is going to play Superman in the movie. He's going to play Superman in any cartoons. He's going to play Superman in any video games.
Dude, good.
So he's going to do all the voice acting and stuff too for animation and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's interesting.
And even that, like, I think that's not necessary. I think you could find, for voice acting, you can find somebody. But I think it just shows, like, I'd like to hear more, like, if he's in a live action TV show that it's him and whatever. But still, that just speaks to like this is just one big thing, man. And I think they can like that is a good model, man. Depending on how you do it,
it has me cautiously optimistic because to be honest with you, like after watching that fucking Guardians holiday special,
I just haven't even watched that. That's how excited I am.
It had me down. The only thing was like. Dave Bautista's Drax is funny as hell.
He's great, man.
Yeah,
I love him. But so you kind of talk about the. You lead it. Yeah.
All right. So first one that they have coming up with a release date of July 11th, 2025. Superman Legacy, written by James Gunn. Okay. We'll follow Kal-El as he reconciles his extraterrestrial origins with his human family and upbringing. It sounds like a reboot of Man of Steel with one important thing. Henry Cavill is not coming back as Superman.
Right.
Yeah. They've not had any casting for this yet. After watching the menu, I'm down for a Nicholas Hoult fucking Superman.
Really?
Dude, I'd be down for that too. And then, like
But the thing is, go ahead. Sorry, man.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, but the thing is he could be in fucking dope Nightwing too.
Yeah, because he looks young enough. So one of the things I liked about Henry Cavill was that like he was just jacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, built like a superhero. But then also, like, I'm a big fan of that. Superman for All Seasons, the Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb Superman, and like one of the things they did with that Superman is like he just kind of like he was kind of like almost pudgy, you know what I mean? So it's and Frank Quitely's drawn Superman in a similar way where it's like I'd be interested to see like a Superman like a Nicholas Hoult who's like this skinny little frail looking dude. I just think that'd be interesting. Like,
but dude, he's gotten jacked before.
Yeah, and because I think he gets in shape for the X-Men movies and whatnot.
Dude,
he wasn't in Mad Max.
Mad Max, he was pretty fucking. He was yoked.
Yeah. He was definitely cut for sure. And
but like he's perfect for all these superhero parts that they're fucking wanting to cast.
You're right.
Anybody with dark hair, he is perfect.
He like
for.
fits the bag for all of them.
I'm gonna say it because I think it needs to be said in defense of Henry Cavill. I liked him as Superman, and I was happy as shit when I heard he was coming back. I was really happy, and it pissed me off when I heard what they did, how they changed their mind, and basically said, "Yep, we're not going to use you now. You're fired. Goodbye, goodbye." You know, it bothers me to no end that they did that.
Yeah, he's one like to me where it's like I look at it the same way I do like Michael Fassbender. Like I thought he was great as Magneto.
Yeah,
and I thought that was really good casting. But I think the best thing to do for the franchise as a whole is to start from scratch, which is where I'd like. And I have said the same thing with like the X-Men too. Like as much as I liked and thought that casting was good, same thing with James McAvoy. Like I think the best thing to do is just start from scratch. Like even if you do lose some really, really great casting choices, you know.
And you're probably right about that. And again, in the long run, not using Cavill might be the best thing, right? But it bothered me how they fucking handled it. It drove, and I felt like
it spoke to
you
a
have
place
the stink of the Rock in there too.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, he came and just fucked everything up. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter anymore, but like the Cavill thing just speaks to no direction.
Exactly.
From above, right?
That's what it is.
And I think The Rock was trying to do that, but it's like he had an idea, I think, and I still haven't watched that Black Adam movie. It literally couldn't be bothered to, you know what I mean? Like at this point, and I'm sure there's some good things about it, but like I think he was like trying to I think he had an idea of what he thought would be cool as a superhero. And just put Black Adam to that, you know?
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
But I haven't seen it also, so I'm talking right now, you know.
I think, Sam, you hit the nail on the head for me. I think that's the problem. That was the biggest issue I had. One, I feel like, I feel like they kind of maybe have fucked with him a little bit, and I think that was messed up. But whatever. I mean, he's a good actor. He's going to get other roles. It's not a problem. You know, he's going to be okay.
I hope so.
But what it did say was how disorganized and fucked up they are.
Yeah,
and it drove me nuts that it's that bad. That you're ready to, you know,
to call a guy like Henry Cavill back and say like we want to do more with you is committing millions of dollars to
and not only that,
to future projects, right?
You're talking about talking an actor back into a role he really was done with.
He was done with it, 100%.
So you get him to agree to it, and then you jerk him around and go, no, we're not going to use you. It's okay. Well, now after they already had him show up in Black Adam
and I don't,
Superman, you know,
and I don't fault James Gunn at all for any of that because
why I don't because I feel like this is the people this goes higher than Gunn. This is above him. This is people,
and it was before him.
Getting up.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't fault
him.
Gunn because you know they promised him control. So
and that's what I mean. But
good on him. And he spoke to that as well. He said like I think it's really
he owned up to it.
Did to him, He's like I think it's really shitty the way they treated him and how they strung him along.
And that's what I mean. It shows you how it's like a dysfunctional fucking way of doing business. You know,
and I think what Nick said was about The Rock just doing too much, man. And everything that The Rock said like about that, I was like, oh my god, like the hierarchy is, well, he kept saying that. He's like the hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change. I was like, you were really correct about that because now it's
congratulations,
going in a completely different direction.
Your Black Adam movie,
one, you know,
your Black Adam movie is gonna have nothing in the long run.
When they had Amazo have like an attitude in Justice League?
No, I didn't.
Like Amazo was throwing out one-liners.
Yeah, I did not.
Okay,
I'm not.
That's what The Rock's Black Adam reminds me of.
Yeah, just kind of like it's a contradiction to the character and I don't like and I feel like there's I don't like the idea, and this might work in some cases, but the idea of like giving the villain the movie.
Yeah.
Because
unfortunately there've been
and it works for comic books. You could do a little Black Adam, like there's that fucking Sabretooth little 4-issue run from the mid-90s. Yeah. Stuff like that works for comics when there's so much volume of stuff coming out to where you could and it's like I mean how many issues does Marvel or DC put out in a month, you know? I mean,
I don't know, man. There've been
how many a week? You know, times it
and
by
also like when you do this and like story-wise, you have what is because what the plan was at the time was the Black Adam was going to be the new start of the DCEU. That was the plan.
That was like the jump off point.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And so like, dude, when you have Black Adam,
and it could have worked, but then you bring fucking Henry Cavill as Superman back for the post credit scene and have Amanda Waller in the movie, like
But like the thing was like when you have fucking Black Adam beat the shit out of the Justice Society for the entire fucking movie, and it's not even close.
Yeah, like what's
like you devalue what's going forward.
That's true, but that's. I mean, I don't know. Did they? I haven't seen the Black Adam yet. I haven't watched the movie yet. But when I've heard about it, it sounds like they just had Black Adam just fucking everybody up and whipping everybody's ass. And I'm kind of like, look,
I'm glad, like at this point that's done.
Yeah,
you know,
I know. Like I know, Black Adam was.
It's going to be its own self-contained little thing. So.
That's good though. I'm happy. Let's keep it at that. Because to me, that's what DC's good at anyway. Just keep it self-contained the movie. Don't try to even connect it to anything else. It's a one-off. Fuck it. Yeah. Let it go.
All right. So to bring this back,
the
next one announced was The Authority.
Crazy, man. Warren Ellis, right?
I'm very worried about this because DC did an Authority book that mixed the Wildstorm cast with DC people. Like Martian Manhunter was on the team.
Oh, so like, are you
really?
I'm worried they're gonna do that DC shit instead of the old Wildstorm shit with like Jenny Sparks and.
I never read any of that. But yeah, that would be. To me, totally expected for them to kind of pull from the most recent thing. I feel like that is what Marvel's done, and I feel like once we get to the rest of the slate, that's what they're gonna tend to do. So,
I have a feeling that the people are gonna be like, okay, we have Midnighter and Apollo, and that's all we care about.
Yeah, well, and it is exactly, and it is tough because nobody gives a fuck or knows anything about the Authority. I hardly do. I know.
That's what I mean. I get worried. I get worried with obscure, and I feel like the Authority is obscure a little bit. It's an obscure kind of thing, and I don't know that everyone's gonna know what the fuck that is. And
and I think I probably said it before the show started. That's what James Gunn did with Guardians. And I thought the exact same thing about that.
I did too, actually, with the Guardians.
And, I thought his Peacemaker was great, and that's pretty obscure, but
Peacemaker was
So like to me that is like a thing where it's like under anyone else maybe I'd be worried about it, Russ, but like under him maybe I'm just like, okay, well he's done it before and it's worked, so
he clearly has an idea of how to take characters that are just obscure and not as well known.
I think
make them well known.
I think what he does a good job of is like he does like makes movies or if it's a show, if it's Peacemaker, of like just putting heart into this stuff. So like I think he does a good job of getting you to care about these characters.
So even if they're obscure, you're gonna like them.
Yeah, and I don't know. Nick, is he like directing this, or is this a thing that's coming out?
I think he's supposed to be producing everything, and he's definitely writing Superman.
Well, I'm excited about that.
The next one is The Brave and the Bold.
Bro, let's fucking go, man.
Okay,
I could not be more excited about this.
I was huge fan of the book, and I know did you watch the animated? Did you watch the animated show?
Well, I think this Russ is. I think this is a title, but it's based off of Grant Morrison's Batman run.
Oh, is it going to be okay?
Because I know Damian Wayne's going to be Robin, and
that's really cool because But they did the animated show that was Batman the Brave and the Bold was really. It had some good stories.
It was campy as shit. I like.
It was campy.
It was cool.
Like, dude, it had great stories. Like Batman marrying fucking Catwoman and retiring, and their fucking kid. And the kids,
the Huntress,
right?
But I think
it's their daughter. And
this more just like is pulling that title is from what I've read. But
because Batman and Robin at the box office doesn't do good.
Yeah, I know. I think they want to go away from that. And
so the Brave and the Bold, and you don't have to even use Batman. You just know he's there.
Batman's gonna make money.
Yeah.
Bang.
But and I think at this point, Damian, I mean, he is Robin to anyone who pays any attention to it, like
especially newer, like younger fans, maybe and newer fans, like that's probably their Robin now. That's their Robin. They know him as
to me, even like if you're like asking me like you're gonna make a Batman display, who's your Robin gonna be? It's fucking Damian.
Yeah.
Like
I told Nick
or whatever.
I told Nick a few weeks ago. I used to hate Damian Wayne, and he is so grown on me now.
We used to fight about it all the time.
Yeah, I like the little fucker now. I think he's great.
He's great, dude. He's great. He's a great character, man. Super fun.
He still isn't my favorite Robin, but he's definitely moved up the fucking list. I think he's right behind Dick Grayson.
And then also, like,
that's
what that speaks of to me is like if they're gonna have Damian, that means that Nightwing and maybe a Tim Drake are already established. So it's like cool. Don't do an origin maybe for Batman and just throw us into this world. And I know like you guys mentioned some casting stuff with him. Well, do you want to get to that later and just like
no, we can talk about it now while we're talking about it, man. Okay. Fucking the only idea I had was the kid from Umbrella Academy. The teleporting dude.
And again, I think I think he would do. It all depends on what age they want to make Damian in the movie.
So that's the thing. If it was Tim Drake, I'd be fine with Nick's choice. But I feel like with Damian, like I always viewed him as like 8 to 10 years old. You know what I mean? So like literally like a little like my son's age, like a little.
Even though but I know in the and I'm going by animated movies now. Obviously, in the animated Titans movies, I feel like I feel like Damian's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
He comes across a bit older, especially the Titans versus Justice League. I feel like he's like he's definitely a bit older in that. And it's like so. There is I don't know, maybe he's 12 or 13, something like that, maybe,
I just don't know any young actors really.
Yeah,
I don't either, man. And it's like I'd like to see him stick to that of him actually just being like a young buck, like a little kid. Like that's how I was picturing in my head, but it's like if they veered from that, I'd be okay with it if it worked for like the larger. But then it's I feel like you got your other teenage Robins. Like I feel like like Jason Todd especially, if like they're in that age. And
I kind of feel like though what's really hard about that, Sam, though, is and I agree, I kind of like that age area too for him. But the big problem is we gotta remember Damian is arguably he's the best Robin. He's the best fighter amongst Robins.
Yeah, exactly. So like you have to be able to sell that to an extent.
The only way
you have to consider like whoever you cast, how are they going to age in between now and the sequel, right?
And they're going to have to know how to like do some choreographed fight moves against adults that are bigger than them.
They're going to have to find a Daniel Radcliffe. And what I mean by that is some young unknown dude,
evergreen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They can latch their claws into early and just be like, "You're Damian."
Yeah,
and you're also
then be
gonna
like,
have to.
when once this runs over, your life's gonna be a fucking nightmare. No,
And you're also gonna have to teach this kid though how to do some stunt work. He's gonna have to know how to do some fight because what do you do? We're gonna get a short stunt man to come in and I mean, I'm sure you can do that, but I just don't.
Yeah, and it's like maybe they can find some kid that like grew up like doing gymnastics or something.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
maybe,
like,
but like,
some little monster, like
he is a really good fighter though. You need a martial artist is what you need. And you need a kid, and there are little kids out there that can fucking throw down.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. I mean, they have like national tournaments for like whatever the mixed martial art is.
It's just a matter of for finding.
Group, so like, but then you have to find that kid who can also act.
Exactly, and, that's the trick. You know, so I mean, it's a tough casting. I mean, I feel, but here's the thing: I feel like the acting thing's got to come first.
Yeah,
because I think you can teach a young actor the martial arts thing. That can be learned, you know, right? Exactly. You don't have to be a black belt.
Yeah, you can do quick cuts.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of choreographed fighting anyway is lots of quick cuts, shooting cut. So it's not. So I think, I think you can do it.
Obviously,
obviously you can, and I'd be down with that age, that 8 to 10. You can make them a little older, maybe 10 to 12, maybe I can go, but I don't know if I want him a full-on teenager. That's what I'm gonna say. I'd like to have a younger Damien.
Who do we want as Batman now?
I don't even know, man. I don't.
I thought they were.
I
thought they were gonna keep. What's this? Are they not gonna use Twilight guy?
No, he's gonna be part of the Elseworlds shit. That's like
so that's like okay.
Joker and Batman are gonna be.
So they're gonna kind of keep him doing independent movies. Yeah,
okay. I think that's great.
That's a good idea. Okay.
And I'm fucking hoping, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but man, if they do a Court of Owls story, dude, I'd lose my mind.
Dude, I want them to start off with fucking Batman Rip.
Dude, that would be cool.
I want to see 100 Man-Bats on screen.
Yeah.
Wow. Fucking crazy.
I want a hot as hell Talia al Ghul walking around like.
Mm-hmm.
And I want Keanu Reeves as Batman.
Dude, that'd be cool.
Wait a minute. Banana Reeves? I don't know, man.
Is it Banana Reeves?
Yeah, that's my nickname for him. I was called Banana.
I want Keanu Reeves as Batman.
I don't know.
And I want Jensen Ackles as the Red Hood.
Oh yeah, that'd
be because you've got to what you've got to think about is they said these actors are going to be these actors cross-platform.
And he's done some voice.
He's already done Batman.
Yeah.
My worry with Jensen Ackles that he's already too old to be Red Hood. He's got to be in his 40s, right?
Doesn't look it.
I know, so it certainly doesn't look it, but it's like I'd like to have them, at least all the young bucks, be young for this point, man. And I don't know why I'm thinking that. Like I don't know why.
Yeah, but you got to have Nightwing and Jason older than Tim and Damian.
Well, yeah, for sure, but not in their 40s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like maybe that's just that would be a hang up with me. It's just is knowing how old he is, and when I'm watching the movie, I don't give a fuck. And it melts away, but I would like to see them really, really kind of invest in that. But like I said, it's hard casting young people because they grow up.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. See,
I can't think of any young actor like in that age range.
I just don't know any, man.
Besides that, like I said, like Nicholas Hoult would be a good Batman.
I'd like him as Batman too.
Yeah, and I'd like him as Nightwing.
Yeah.
It's like that dude fits in so many places, like we were saying earlier.
In that original Grant Morrison Batman run, wasn't Nightwing Batman? So it's like,
well, after that, all that shit, because like that was so like it depends on where he's starting. Because if he starts there with Dick Grayson as Batman, Bruce is dead.
Yeah.
Well.
But do you think they have the balls to do that fucking live action?
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, doing it in an
I
animated,
don't know. I don't
doing it in
think
an
so.
animated movie or doing it in a comic book is one
I don't
thing.
think so, Nick. But if I
know.
sat down in the theater, didn't know anything, didn't see a trailer, and that was what it was, I'd be like, let's go, dude. Like I'm
You
on
just
for the
start at Bruce's grave.
yeah. And,
That would be interesting.
Me as someone who kind of
And you got Damien on one side, Dick on the other.
Yeah. I think
it's
that
like,
would
let's
be,
go.
You could have
bang.
You could have Amanda I gotta have Amanda Waller show up and say, just kind of conversate with him and say, world needs Batman.
But like going through that, man, there's so many weird ass villains.
A lot, yeah.
Professor Pig, the Flamingo.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, do you have
like the Flamingo was like a 3 or 4 issue arc.
Yeah. I mean, but you could use some of the classic villains
Jason
too.
Todd was a villain in that with
Professor Pig is with the Hush thing. Oh no, that was
no, that's Hush.
Yeah. The Professor Pig, he's one that's stuck though.
Yeah. He's got the mask stuck. And he
he's like a villain who has like come up again and again, in different media things. Like he's like one who's.
I got you now.
Yeah.
I think you could use. I don't think you have to be locked into those villains. I think you could use better known villains, maybe. But I mean, I think if you do a Batman movie, you better use some villains that are associated, the more classic ones to start out, especially.
If they do that story, they have a pretty awesome way to introduce the Joker.
It's not a bad idea, too, Andy. I mean, the Joker's always got to be around, I think. I always feel that way.
In that Batman and Robin story, like, Grant Morrison takes the Joker and turns him upside down, and like, it's good. Like, I'm excited because Grant Morrison is my favorite writer of all time, and I just completely dig that storyline. So to hear that they're going to be drawing off it,
yeah, man, and it's like to kind of like put that out there too, and it's like he's one of my favorites too, and that I think that is one of. You have to consider that to be one of the definitive Batman arcs anymore, and I am really open to like including these newer stories in like what I consider to be like the kind of like the Batman lore, right? And
to get like a traditional Ra's al Ghul on screen.
God, that'd be great, dude.
Yeah, man, that'd be incredible, dude.
But if you're gonna have
with the and it's just real quick, and I'm geeking on this, and like this is where like I, as a fan, I'm like I know I'm doing something I should never do, right? But it's like with this, the Batman 2, like I just want so bad for them to do a Court of Owls or at least work that in. And it's not just because like I like the story, but like because Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson have both like spoke about that so much.
Okay, but Sam, this, right? But Sam, it is a really good story, and it would be phenomenal to see.
And I was thinking about that. Yeah, and I was thinking about that. Like, not only is it to me the best of the Scott Snyder run, like that is the best, one of the best Batman stories.
And I think it's good.
I'm really open to like this newer stuff.
Plus,
kind of canon, and this is how it becomes. As such, through movies and through adapting more recent stories that people maybe aren't as familiar with.
When we got the Justice League cartoon, we got Wally West and Jon Stewart.
Yeah,
right.
When we're getting the Blue Beetle movie, we're not getting Ted Kord, we're getting Jaime Reyes.
Jaime Reyes, yeah.
So these characters, DC proves that. But over Marvel, their legacy characters stick.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think it's that their legacy characters stink, but it's like the ones
who stick.
Stick. My bad. Okay. Yeah. Well, so stick, and then like, but also like the ones that kind of like, and it's not even like the legacy characters, but it's like the ones that do fill in those mantles They're interesting and people give a shit about them.
Yep.
And that is, I think, a hard thing to do. But DC, I think, has done a much better job than Marvel of doing that.
Well, also though too, what I was gonna say is I feel like in the Batman movie that we just got, I felt like they kind of set the Court of Owls shit up a little bit in that movie. I feel like there was a little bit of there was some reference to his dad, and there was a reference to
there was
his dad being involved with
Easter egg like right at the beginning of the movie.
Yes, it was.
But there was some Court of the Owl shit.
So I feel there definitely was. I feel like there was definitely so the launch off point is there.
Yeah.
For them to do that. But another thing is I feel like if you're gonna do the Court of Owls story, that's how to do it. Do it like y'all said. That's gonna be in the what do you call it? The
Elseworlds.
Elseworlds, right?
And like
that's perfect.
And they're explicitly using that label for Batman 2 and Joker 2, and I think that's super.
That's really
that's a name that means something to comic book fans, and I think it will mean something to like moviegoers as time goes on. Like, okay, this is an Elseworld, so I understand that this doesn't play into the larger kind of thing. In the fact that they're willing to do the work to build this shared universe and have this other stuff that makes a shit ton of money. I think first and foremost is why, right?
Absolutely,
but also is really good. Like,
hey
man,
I think you're right. I think it's perfect.
I see the strengths to this approach, but I also have reservations.
Yeah.
What if you run into another Ezra Miller situation?
I know,
and you've got this guy locked into contracts for movies, for animation, for video games,
right? Yeah.
I just
man, it's like to me in that situation, just do a recast, man. Like, people get it. People get it with Terrence Howard, and Iron Man. Like, did that slow down the MCU at all? Like, no. Certainly it didn't. Nobody gave a shit ultimately. And who else? So. They're about to do it with Harrison Ford and William Hurt, and that's like I think you just do the recast. Just do the recast.
Yeah, just do it. Don't even talk about it. Just fucking rip the Band-Aid off, like you said.
Yeah, to rip the Band-Aid off thing, and it's like, and if you do talk about that, be like, hey, they're going through some issues. You got to recast. Okay, moving on, and then in 2 days, nobody will give a shit about it because something else will have come up,
True.
Now,
I was gonna say, it sounds like in any case, they're gonna. It sounds like they're gonna set something up, and and I'm hoping it's done well, to where we're gonna have a whole. They're gonna try to once again to have like a whole universe. Like a universe of
that's what they're trying to do,
and that's what they're trying to do, and they've failed miserably before,
right? But they're starting off with the plan now,
which sounds good.
Yeah, where like they had to pivot from Man of Steel into saying, okay, this is the DC shared universe,
right?
They're also going to be doing a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow movie. It's based on Tom King's run on the book.
That
it's kind of badass.
That run's supposed to be good, man. Where it's like kind of like she was just raised like under different circumstances.
Yeah.
Than Superman, kind of like raised to be a little monster. So I think that'll be good.
Interesting. Yeah. It's okay. Huh.
After that is Swamp Thing.
I'm surprised by that just because I feel like they just had that series.
Yeah, but I think that's like if you were gonna say, okay, James Gunn, you have to write something somewhat serious. I think if you looked at any DC character, that's what he'd pick. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, people love Swamp Thing. Man. Swamp Thing's cool.
When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Swamp Thing. I remember having comic books, and then I watched this old Swamp Thing movie, and I was like, oh, It's kind of cool, man.
There's one that came out in the 80s, right? And it showed boobs, didn't it?
Hell
I think it did. It did.
And
Yep,
fucking,
it did.
dude,
Yep.
Arcane was in that shit, and he was pretty
Yeah.
fucking scary, man.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty badass. So I was, I liked it when I was a youngin'. That was good.
Now they're already talking about new TV shows too, and they're going to be doing Creature Commandos, which is like basically Marvel's Legion of Monsters. One of the characters is going to be Frankenstein. It doesn't look like the traditional Frankenstein that they've been using. Like, I guess maybe it could be, but I don't know who any of the other characters are. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
But okay, monsters, DC, cool.
Yeah.
And it's a TV show, so it's not like it's not the oh shit, if this is something too far out there that you're not gonna get more of it if not enough people like it. Waller, so it's gonna be a new Amanda Waller because no, it is not.
Dude, so this is like the one thing that confused me. Like, is it still going to be Viola Davis?
Viola Davis in the lead role.
Here's the thing, though. I think she does such a good job where I think they like her now.
Since it's a TV show.
Yeah.
It says DC Studios says the show will feature Team Peacemaker. So, dude, James Gunn is saving his little baby right there.
Yeah, that was surprising to me because, and same thing, Russ. Like, I thought she was great, but it's like, are we starting things new or are we not? Like,
well, yeah, but I mean, I think you can
make sense.
But I think you can start things new, and you can still use some certain actors for certain roles. Like Amanda Waller is kind of a.
They did that with Spider-Man with J. Jonah Jameson. I mean,
sure, exactly.
Who else is going to play him?
Right, he kind of looks. He looks the part, doesn't he?
It's like made for it.
Yeah. That's sort of like one of those where I think you give certain characters. I think you can do that with, and not need the fresh start all the way, But
and I'm like okay with an okie doke.
Amanda Waller is not. That's an okay. That's a character you can. I think you can do it with.
And she's really good in the role.
She really is. She really is. When I watch whenever I watch Suicide Squad, you criticize that movie all you want, but she was really good in that movie. What an asshole she was,
man.
And I loved it. So yeah, absolutely.
Right, so the next one is Booster Gold. I've never been a fan. Not even
Booster Gold.
Not even during the Detroit JLA days. Like he's he's a time traveler that comes back in time to be a superhero in this time.
He's like kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, with future
kind
technology.
Of a dickhead. I've never someone I'm familiar with. So okay, all right.
I could see this because James Gunn is running the DC universe. That him reaching out to an actor could be Nathan Fillion for this role.
Huh.
Yeah,
I think.
I wonder if they would do that or
I could see that definitely. After that, there's going to be a Lanterns project. It says the Green Lantern Corps have been the galaxy's foremost law enforcement agency since '59. So I guess it's going to be a Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan buddy cop movie. Well, TV show. Perfect for DC Studios said it will be an enormous TV event series focused on the two unraveling a dark mystery. So, could we be getting dark mystery? Sounds like Blackest Night to me.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like that's because, and here's the thing: I like that they're separating, properties into TV shows and movies, but saying that if the dude's on a TV show, he will be him in the movie. You know what I'm saying? So you have these TV shows with these actors, and then you have a Justice League movie down the road. You could pull from the TV, you pull from
and just like have them like on standby at least, and like that shit like means so much to to fans. That was like the first thing that, whenever like the DC EU was kind of kicking off, that I thought they fucked up was like they were like, we're gonna have a different Flash because of Grant Gustin Flash, like, and it's like, yeah, it's like it's a CW show and it's goofy or whatever, but like people like it.
My kid loves that show.
Yeah, and it's like I thought that was a huge mistake, not just like bringing those characters into it.
Yeah,
because I'm like, it's like, why wouldn't you? Like, you're like going out of your way. But I don't know.
All right. So after Green Lanterns is Paradise Lost.
Yeah, it's like a Wonder Woman kind of like prequel.
Themyscira.
Yeah, this will be cool.
So is this going to be like Wonder Woman young or something, or
I don't even know if she's around.
I think it's gonna. Yeah, that's what.
Oh, like before Wonder Woman was born or something. Oh wow!
Maybe you go from like where they were made from clay and fucking, you know.
Interesting, very interesting. And was there in fact ever a Wonder Woman before Wonder Woman?
Yeah, her mother Hippolyta.
Yeah, so did she ever go into like the leave the mascara and go kick some ass somewhere else?
She was a member of the Justice Society.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so they had,
and later on, she was actually a member of the Justice League too.
It's badass. Okay, shit.
She became Wonder Woman for a while.
It's pretty cool.
And I think there was one before Hippolyta.
Damn, dude.
But, yeah. Right now, they're doing kind of like a Wonder Woman around the world. There's now an African Wonder Woman. There's like a whole tribe of Amazons there, like a whole tribe of lost Amazons in South America. So they have a Hispanic Wonder Woman now. So they're
fucking wild.
Yeah, so they're trying to like, you know, include as many people's ethnicities as they can.
Oh man, my daughter will like that because she's one thing she always says is she feels like female. She feels like a lot of the female characters that just picks on me from the old days were so whitewashed, is what she would tell me. They're so whitewashed.
The last Wonder Woman arc that I read was very good. It was basically, it dealt with a murder mystery involving Hippolyta dying.
Bro, was that the one that Greg Rucka did? No, it wasn't Greg Rucka. Fuck, who was it?
I think this is Joshua Williams.
I'm trying to think who did it. The last one that I read.
Greg Rucka did write Wonder Woman.
Okay, that's what I think that was the last one that I read.
Yeah.
And I like that because I like him.
Yeah. They even introduced a brother for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm. Wonder Brother.
Wonder Boy or something like that, or Wonder Man.
I think his name was just Jason.
They even give a cool. You're just a male Wonder Woman. You get no cool name.
Your name's Brian.
So yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the full lineup for DC so far. Yeah. So weird things since James Gunn and Momoa have been running their mouths off. No mention of anything of Mr. Terrific project. No mention of Lobo. No mention of the only thing James Gunn did say was that Jason Momoa will not play two characters in the DC universe.
Okay, so does this mean so if he's going to use Momoa as something else, that means he's done being Aquaman?
Because Momoa wants to play Lobo really bad.
Yeah, but it's weird. Aquaman 2 is like still coming out, and I think like they just have so too much money into it.
It has to come out now. It has to.
They're like, we have to do it. It's all shot.
Yeah, their budget is absurd for it. It has to come out now because the
budget's absurd and it's been just too fucking long. Too long.
Yeah, they got to. They got to try to get what they can out of it now. But I'm gonna be honest with you. He would make a really good Lobo. I think he would. Because I just think he's close enough with the look, with his face and everything, and you could wild hair his ass. I mean, goddamn, I'd love to see a really good live action Lobo. The last live action Lobo I can remember was Lobo on the TV show Krypton. Man. They had Lobo when he was fucking with Lobo was hunting.
I kind of wish he'd go over to Marvel and play Kraven.
That would be another good. That's another character he could do really good. God
or
damn.
Sabretooth.
Craven or Sabretooth. Yep, I can see him doing both. Yeah,
he's big as fuck. Like he's like a really big dude.
Yeah, and Momoa's got that height, and that's
hey,
that.
Nick,
Yeah.
Hey, Marvel's got you covered with Sony because they're making a goofy Craven movie already about Craven's son, who is
it's
Aaron
Taylor Johnson. Yeah.
Oh, great.
No,
Sony
needs to just stop, man. They're the worst.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting discouraged.
Well, what's funny with Sony is they're like, okay, they got help. They got help from Disney, Marvel Studios to help them with the Spider-Man movies and shit. Now it's like, okay, but any other character, we're gonna fucking do on our own, and we don't give a fuck. We're gonna do whatever we want to do, and we fuck it up. We don't care.
I mean, who the fuck asked for a Madam Web movie?
I don't know.
Literally nobody.
Nick, I swear to God, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I'm going to tell you, Madam Web to me was never a super significant character to me. Never. Yeah, I know she played an important part in certain stories.
Yeah,
but she really,
not
but
like
not
a core character to Spider-Man
at all.
Or anything else.
Not at all. Like when I think of Spider-Man, I don't think of Madam Web. Not at all. She's no connection. I don't even understand why they feel the need to do that. Other than we want to put more female characters in the, come on, man. Whatever, dude.
They have like a bingo drum of like, and it's like each ball has a character's name, and there's like, this is the next movie, Madam Web.
Oh my God,
silly, dude.
Okay, just before we go out, I've been reading Spider-Man and enjoying the shit out of it.
Have you really? Oh wow, man! I've been hearing
until this crossover event.
Like, oh no! There's a crossover event they're doing. What?
X-Men and Spider-Man Dark Web.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it was Madeline Pryor and Ben Reilly teaming up as two clones that don't have all the memories of their hosts, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Madeline wants Jean's memories. Ben Reilly wants Peter's. So they team up, and it's a whole fucking like thing where Madeline has been given control of Limbo from Magic.
Oh Christ!
So it's this whole demon storyline with Spider-Man and the X-Men fighting demons, and Madeline Pryor and fucking Ben Reilly.
Oh Christ! Jeez.
It's so, but like the thing is like the end of this crossover actually brings another new status quo to Marvel's New York.
Oh no!
Limbo has an embassy in New York now.
Limbo, like Limbo is being treated like a country unto itself.
And Madeline Pryor went back to running it.
Oh my God, dude!
It's crazy. Oh, wait until I tell you about Sins of Sinister. Anyways, I figure. Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, I was gonna say I've heard that the new Spider-Man run is really good. That's what I've been told by people.
It is. I've thoroughly enjoyed it up to this point, but this crossover kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because it was like nobody asked for this.
Yeah,
keep telling the story that you're telling in the main book and
absolutely
leave the bullshit alone. If you're gonna do it, don't involve the main title in it, please.
I agree. Yeah, just sounds like you just start getting silly. But that's all right. Whatever. Yeah. All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we've been going for a little bit over 2 hours, but
that sounds good.
Yeah. All right, man. As we say every week, peace, love, and hair grease. We're out.
Adios, guys.
Later.